the Postman test, and let's say create the new record of the database. Is everything is working properly working? So the version 216 is there, so we can record. So 2017 there, 2018 there. So the record is there. So let's check in database level is properly coming in the database. So you see the 218 and 2017 and 218 coming properly, coming really properly. So all the tests, the CRUD operation there, and let's have a check the to make a record for the user role, register user role with the 218. Let's define as hit it. So 123, 24, 25, and 26. So role user 218 user. Let's have a database level. It is coming the user role tables. So you see there's a 218. It has a 3 role defined. So 124, 25, 26. So this week we did the test with this Postman. That's those who are new. How can you configure the Postman test and the global setting? That's simply here. You can go there. I have a previous screencast to discuss a little bit, really more detail about Postman global configuration. After the configuration done, just you export the test cases to put it the test cases into the testing department or other department. They will simply change the IP address and the port number, and that's all. And other things, they don't need to be anything to change. As I said, this is the professional settings of your test, Postman test. You can export, you can import, and then run the same test. The web developer can run the same test, and then they can check it, everything is working or not, and then that thing need to be set properly. As I said, this is a professional example. How can you do and how can you inject those things together? So let's do the same test, the Swagger UI test that we already defined here. So you see the Swagger UI is exactly which version we are, what we configure into our Swagger bean configurations. In the application bean configuration, what we define there. So all the attributes, all the informations, and is properly handled. So it's created even though the controller definition, what we define, the controller definitions, everything is perfectly coming here. So it's all the documented, which version, which server, which port is running, and let's have it check all the operations, all the level information, and let's have it check one of the post methods of what we did in the Postman. So we can check it like in Swagger UI. Same test is a tryout, and it has a template for the input body. We can take the body input body for JSON body from the Postman. So just like for simple case, not typing that too much. So go there, and then we can just simply complete structure, simply paste, and then execute, because we have some record, and now we need to create one record. So we see one record number 19 there. So 19, and execute another at the time, and then record number 20 there. So then we can do we have a update, delete, and all the CRUD operation. I don't have enough time to test, but you can do also more testing, and then do the some role definition with the user role with the 19. You see how the Swagger UI define the input, required and unrequired, all the definition. You can got it at 219. We have records, and then take the body of the test. So we can do the test, and then run here. So execute test, and then 17, and then let's say that we make a 2 test, 2 record. So maybe 4 record. Let's have a check into the database level. It is properly coming. So it is a role definition. With a role definition, we see the 4 role definition is exactly what we are plotting in the both side. The Postman test and the Swagger UI test is properly handled in the user role definition registration. So you see the user role 200 17, 18, 19, and 20 is properly handled. And let's check the log information, exactly what the application is logged. So we can say kubectl to log the kubectl, the logs, logs log the service, and then how this Spring Boot services. So it's logged. So kubectl logs how it is the application is logged, our Spring Boot applications. Oh, is everything slow today? So we see all the log information. That's what we are executing the applications, every steps. But in the enterprise level applications, we didn't show the SQL syntax like for the privacy reason we didn't set it, but in the testing purpose to show you how it is the execution, every step execution. You see the last execution was the insert execution for our database, the insert into the user role registration. You see exactly the same insert role definition of the insert function, what we define here. So normally in the professional life, in the enterprise application, we did it like here. So you see the hibernate DTL validate with the schema that we define, and this is the flags. So show a SQL script. If you show false, then it doesn't show you a SQL script. That's our enterprise application, or privacy reason we do every time we set it's false, but in the development test we can set true. So it works. So that means we start our developments and with a really proper way how it's going to from the requirement stage, and we define the models, we define our Liquibase script, we define our repository, we define the service implementation and controller definition, and we configure our Swagger UI or OpenAPI 3 configurations, and do the controller definition based on the Swagger UI documentation what you want to documents. But I started the structure and deploy, and then after the deployment structure we just build a new version with a simple very mbm clean build versions, and just simply copy the version into our directory that's what we're looking for. And this directory cls, and then we have a directory DLI directory. We have all the versions with the configuration file. Then after that we just simply run that. So we will say kubectl apply all the scripts, and then application started. And then when application started, we can see this type of expression with the IP address and where they install and how. But I will continue the kubectls for the increase integration. How can you externally expose your IP and ports, and that's I had to be handles. And this is all the things that we already defined into our controllers, our Swagger UI definitions. So we got the idea, a really professional way how can you implement one Spring Boot applications with REST APIs, with all the possibility, with the professional database migration tools, with the professionals user registration, with the professionals, the REST API documentation, with the Swagger UI or OpenAPI 3. I believe it is really help you for your daily developments. If you can write down your commands, your ideas, your concepts, and that will help us. And also I believe it will help you your development, day-to-day development. I say bye, goodbye. Just follow the channels and subscribe the channel and share our channels with your colleagues and friends, and I believe I will continue the further developments, and so on and so forth. Bye and goodbye.